Welcome back. So today we are going to make a pinafore dress. So I'm using my pattern paper to draft it. After drafting this pattern paper, this is from my shoulder to my waist. So what I'm going to do is to take 1 inch away from my shoulder. I'm going to remove 1 inch from here. I'm going to remove 1 inch from here, from the shoulder. Then on the waist part, I'll divide my waist by 8, and my waist is 30. I divided it by 8 and I have 3.75. Then from here I'll take my 3.75 here. This is my 3.75. This is my 3.75, and I'll rule it to my shoulder. You can actually leave your shoulder like this if you want to. You can actually leave it like this, but I want to take away 1 inch. Are you seeing this line? Then I'm going to cut out. This is just your basic bodice from shoulder to waist. So now we are going to cut out our main fabric. I use 1.5 for the neck depth. So I'm going to remove the pins to see what we have. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing it? So I'm going to use this one to turn it over. Okay, so now I'm going to cut out the front part, and the front part there will be an opening in the front part. So here there will be an opening. There will be an opening on the front part. I also folded my front part into 4. Like I said before, I'm using the same fabric to turn it over. So I folded into 4. Let me pin it down. I'll still construct a neck on the front because we are using the back pattern to cut out the front. So I'll still be tracing the front neck depth. So let's cut out the front. So here is the front part. I'll use a neck depth of 5. I want to use a neck depth of 5. It's 5. Then I'll curve it up. And here is my front neck depth. And here is our front piece. Are you seeing what we have here? No idea. Here are the front pieces. One here is the back piece. So what we are going to do is to sew the front and back piece together. Sew them together. Join the shoulders. We are going to join the shoulders of this one and also join the shoulders of this one. We are joining only the shoulders. Okay, we've sewn our fabric. I sewed the back part and the front part together. I just sewed the shoulder, only the shoulder. And I also sew the one I'm using to turn it over. I also sew them together, the shoulder. Assuming you are using your, if you are using lining to turn it over, you sew the lining the same way you sew the fabric. So what we are going to do next is to sew them together now. This is the way it looks like. This is the way it looks like. Are you seeing? This is the way it looks like. So what we are going to do is we are not sewing them together. The front part facing the front part, okay? So we'll sew them together. So we are going to sew everything round. You start from here, you sew round, you sew round, you sew, and stop at the edge here. You also start from here and sew round, go to the neck. So the only part we are not sewing is the opening down, the waist part. The waist part, that is the only place you are not sewing. Just the waist. Just the waist. You are not sewing here, okay? So other places round. We'll omit these places because that is where we are turning our dress from. Okay, I've finished sewing everything. You can see I've sewn everything. The only place that I did not sew are the down part, the waist part. That is the only part I left open. So what I'm going to do next is to notch the neck, notch it so that it will be, when you turn it and iron, it will be flat. So I don't want to top stitch. So I'm going to notch everything. So when you turn it over, it will be as flat as. So it's time to turn over. I'm going to turn everything over. Are you seeing? It's already taking its shape. Here is the front part. So what I'm going to do now is to iron. What I'm going to do is to iron. I'll be right back. Here is the back and here is the front. So I'm going to, okay, here I've ironed my pinafore. I've ironed it. Can you see how nice it looks? So what I'm going to do is to attach the band on the waist. I'm going to take away 2 inches from the waist and cut out. Then I'll replace it with a band. Here's my 2 inches. 2. Out, then I'll replace it with a band. Okay. So that means I'm going to cut the 2 inches on fold. Then I'll add ½ inch to it. For the band length, I'll be using my waist times 2. That is, I'll be using 60. My waist is 30 times 2 is 60. I'll be using 60. That is, I'm making use of 2.5. 2.5 or 3. 2.5. Please always make sure, I know what I'm cutting, but if you are a beginner, please always make sure before cutting out. Then I'm going to slash this into 2. I'm going to divide it into 2. Hope you understand what I'm doing. You can actually make this pinafore. You can actually make it and sell. If you are getting ready to wear, you can actually make different designs with different fabrics, and you can actually make money from this. You see what I've done here? You see? What I'm going to do is I'm going to iron this. Please, if you have gum stay or cloth gum, if you have gum stay or cloth gum, you can attach it to the fabric, to the band. This is the 360-degree flay we did before. If you don't know how to calculate and cut your 360-degree flay, check my last video. So we are going to attach our pinafore on the upper part to this flay, to this peplum flay. But before that, you know, after cutting out my peplum, I slashed one part of it. So this place is slashed, this place is open, and this place is going to be the front part. But before that, I want to recut it. I don't want it to be straight. I want to recut it. It's just like this small curve on the front part. Yeah, a curve. Depends on what you want. Depends on what you want. So this is how it's going to look like. So not be straight. This is how it will look like. Are you seeing that? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stitch it back. I'm going to fold it, turn it, and stitch. Turn and stitch, then turn it over. Here is open, you turn it and stitch, then turn it over. Okay, see what I told you before? So now I've stitched it, I'm going to turn it over. So, are you seeing it? This is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. So what we are going to do now is to notch our band, the 2 bands. I folded them, I notched the middle. Are you seeing? I notched the middle, I notched it. Then I'm going to notch our peplum, our flay. I'm also going to notch the middle part. Okay, you locate the middle and notch it. So here is my midpoint. Then I'll notch. There is it. So what I'm going to do, is I'll also locate the back part. This is the back, remember, no cut at the back. So I'm going to notch the back part, also notch the middle, the midpoint. Notch. So you are going to take one part of the band, the right side, this is the right side, is facing the right side of the peplum, and the other band, okay, and the other band, the right side will also be facing the right side of the fabric. So what we are doing here is that the peplum itself is in between the two bands. The peplum is in the middle, the first band is here, and the second band is at the back. So right side facing the right side, and this is the midpoint. So we are going to pin all through. Please don't forget to iron. Do not forget to iron so that your band will stay in place. So we are going to iron everything. We are going to pin everything out. You're pinning everything. The peplum stops here, but you can still pin down because you are sewing everything. You can still pin up to this point. Then we'll continue our pinning here. We'll continue pinning here. Then you pin all through. Can you see that? Remember, you are pinning it this way. It's facing downwards, it's facing towards you, okay? So I'm going to sew now. See how I'm going to sew. I'll start from here. I'll sew from here. Half an inch, all through, all through, all through. There, you come down to this side. I've sewn it all around, so I'm going to take off the pins. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to flip over to the other side. Please always remember to iron out your fabric. Remember to iron out. But before that, I'm going to trim out the excess. So the fabric, so after ironing, it will lap very well. I'm trimming out the excess. If you have cloth gum, please attach it to your band, especially if the fabric is so light. So next thing we are going to do now is to attach our band to our fabric, our front pattern. Remember, this is the front, this is the center. Remember, this is the center. I notched the center front before, the back part. I notched the middle before. So what we are going to do now is we are going to iron ½ inch inside, all through, ½ inch inside and ½ inch this way all through, so that when you are fixing your band, your front part, so that when you are fixing your upper part, it will go inside, it will be in the middle, and this will go here, and the back part will go there. This back pattern will be in the middle, will be in between, okay? It will be in the middle. Remember, I'm fixing the back first, okay? And I notched my center, and I also notched my center. So we are folding in 1/2 inch all through. Make sure you iron. So I'm going to fold in 1/2 inch, fix my back bodies in between, and I'll sew. Okay, our pinafore is almost ready. So like I said before, I fixed my back pattern, my back dress in between the two bands. My dress is inside in the middle, while the other band is this side and the other band is the other side. So now I've sewn it from here to here. Please always pin before you sew, okay? So your dress do not shift. So for fixing our front part, so this is what we are going to do. Here is our front part. This one doesn't need any measurements or markings. So what we are going to do is this. We are going to fix our front part of the dress here, in between two. This one does not need any marking because it just ends where your peplum ends, okay? Then the same thing we did, we put it in the middle and folded 1/2 inch in and 1/2 inch on the other side, the back part. You folded it in and you sew like that, okay? Same thing goes here. This one doesn't need any markings. It will just end where your peplum flake ended. So you fold in and you sew. Okay? Hope you understand. I'll be right back. Okay, here is our dress. Our dress is ready. So what I did is, just the way we did the other side, I fixed my dress in between the two bands and I sewed them together. Do you know this is actually reversible pinafore? Assuming you are using it two different assuming you are using two different types of fabric, different colors, different type of fabric, this is actually a reversible. This is, you can wear it this other way and you can wear it the other way. The only difference is this top stitch I did the only difference is this top stitch I did in my peplum. If you are using two different fabric, if you want to make it a reversible, the only difference is you are not going to top stitch. Rather, just trim out the excess so that when you iron, it will be flat, okay? So that is the only difference. This is actually a reversible pinafore. If you use two different fabric, it's a reversible. And if you are making it a reversible pinafore, make sure when you are ironing, iron properly so the other fabric will not show the other side and this other fabric will not show the other side. So when you are ironing, that is when you are sewing a reversible. When you are ironing, when you iron this side, you flip to the other side, you iron. Same thing with the dress. When you iron, you turn, you iron, make sure the other fabric is not showing on the other side. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to iron everything together and show you how it looks like. Okay, so this is our pinafore jacket. Yeah, it's a jacket. Are you saying that? So this peplum, you can actually make it 720-degree peplum. But my own, remember I did not add anything on this peplum. So you can add cloth gum, you can add gum stay, you can add your crinoline or crinoline, whatever. So are you seeing how it looks like? Are you seeing how it looks like? So you can try this out. You can try it out. You can use it to wear any color of your any choice of dress you want. You can try this out. You can try it out. It's so fine.